All right, hi guys. Thanks for tuning in. Technical difficulties with getting started, so a couple minutes late. Thanks for joining. My name is Hayley. We're just gonna get started right away. So kind of sitting on our shins, and then we're gonna shift forward a little just to tuck our toes. So super active, intense pose here. And you're gonna wanna maybe pick up the pinky toes a little bit. They can kind of get caught underneath the toes. And sitting up super straight, spine is long. Reaching out from the crown of the head. Soften the eyes here. Avoid curving the low back, so tuck the tailbone a little bit. So belly button is in and up. You can rest palm face down, palm face up. Starting to find your breath here. The pose might get a little bit quite intense. You might feel like your feet are literally going to explode. I have felt that, but they're not going to. It's just an intense stretch in the balls of the feet. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Exhale, release. Inhale through the nose. Exhale to release. If this ever becomes like way too much for you to handle, you can shift forward, come onto your hands, releasing the hips from the heels, releasing a little bit of pressure. A couple more rounds of breath here. Coming into your practice. Take a deep inhale, hold the breath all the way down to the navel. Open the mouth to let it go. Gently make your way into all fours, untuck the toes, and then you can start to pat the feet on the ground, just releasing the tops of the feet. And we're in our table pose. Take a couple rocks side to side of the hips. Starting to get out any pops. And coming back to center. On your next inhale, shine the heart forward, sink your belly, lift your tail. On your next exhale, press the ground away, round through the spine. Cat. Inhale takes you into your cow. Exhale, round the spine, cat. Flow with your breath here. One breath per movement. You even want to maybe add in a little child's pose when you come through your cat pose. Feel free to do that and taking this back into your cow. More rounds. After your last round, meeting back in tabletop. Lengthen the right toes back, point the toes, lengthen the leg. Draw the toes forward, keep the legs straight, so working on outer hip strength. And draw the leg back through center, hug the knee to the nose, take a little crunch. Inhale to lengthen the leg, and draw the toes forward. And then draw the leg back, hug the knee to the nose, round the spine, crunch. 3 more times with your breath. Starting to open up our hips, activating our core. Flowing with your breath. One more time. Lengthen the right leg back. Lengthen the left fingertips out in front. Just coming into a little spinal balance here. Take an inhale here. Next, exhale, draw knee to elbow, take a crunch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl. Inhale, extend. Exhale to curl. One more time, extend. Exhale, curl. This time, extend. Bend the right knee. Option to grab hold of the top of the right foot with the left hand. Just coming into a quad stretch. Roll the left shoulder down the back. Gently release the limbs. Table pose. Couple rounds of cat and cow here just to flush that side away. Meeting back in your neutral tabletop. Lengthen the left leg, point the left toes, and draw the left toes forward. So you're keeping the leg long, activating your outer hip. Then draw the leg back, hug the knee to the nose, round the spine, take a crunch. Inhale, lengthen. Draw the leg to the front of the room. Come back through center. Take a little crunch. 3 more times. Flow with your breath. Like you're painting the left wall with your left toes. Last time here. Lengthen, extend the left leg. Reach the right fingertips forward. Flex the left foot. Take an inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Once more here, extend. Exhale to crunch. Reaching through the limbs. This time bend the left knee. Option to grab hold of the top of the foot. Coming into a little quad stretch. Then release the foot slowly. Tabletop, couple rounds of cat and cow here, just to even everything out. When you're ready, tuck the toes. Lift your hips back up in space. Downward facing dog. Take a couple moments here just to feel into your body. Pedaling out the feet. Shake the head yes, shake the head no. Taking a little bit of movement. Free flowing the body, maybe bounce the head. And finding some stillness here. Take a deep inhale. Lift to the toes. Exhale, sink the hips, sink the heels. Inhale to lift the heels. Lift the heels. Exhale, lower the heels. One more time, lift the heels. Come to the toes. Exhale to lower. This time, lift the heels. Bend the knees, draw the chest back to the tops of the thighs. So it doesn't have to touch, but just think about that general direction. Stay long through the arms, through the side body. So working on some lengthening of the spine. Keep the gaze at the back of the room. Start to tiptoe, walk the hands to the back of the room. Keep the heels lifted. Turning on the legs here. Sink the hips, Utkatasana with the heels lifted. So think about lifting the heels up higher, sinking the hips lower. 2 more rounds of breath here, warming up the quads. Take an inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Hands grab opposite triceps here, ragdoll, sway the body back and forth. Starting to make your breath audible here. Sealing the lips. Breathing in and out of your nostrils. When you're ready, release the elbows. Inhale takes you to your halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Root to rise, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, draw the hands to your heart. Pausing here. Find a connection with your thumbs to your heart. Feeling the rising and falling of the chest. Heartbeat. Flutter the eyes open, sweep the arms overhead. Inhale. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, start to walk yourself out to a high plank. Pausing here. Pressing the ground away. Start to draw some circles in one direction. And then reversing this direction. Stay active through the core. Next, inhale through center, shift the weight forward. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower all the way down to the belly. Untuck the toes. Come into Sphinx pose, so forearms rest on the ground. Drive down into the forearms, into the palms. Reaching the hips, reaching the elbows towards one another. So forearms should be parallel here. Press into the tops of the feet to activate the legs, so that lifts the quads. Couple more rounds of breath here. If this is too much on the low back, you can widen the stance. Keep the left forearm where it is. Bend the right knee. Reach the right hand back for the top of the foot. Coming into another quad stretch. Release the foot, slowly come back through Sphinx. Pausing here for a couple of rounds of breath. Bend the left knee. Keep the right forearm where it is. Reach the right hand back for the top of the foot. Draw the heel closer to the left glute. Releasing the foot, back through Sphinx. Option to stay here. Walk the hands out at a diagonal. Lengthen the arms. Come into a Sphinx pose. Steady breath. When you're ready, lowering the elbows back down. Plant the hands next to the ribcage. Tuck the toes. Press yourself up into a high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, roll body forward, high plank. Exhale, soften the knees, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees, roll the body forward, high plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, roll forward, high plank, pause. Holding here. One more round of breath. Next, inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower halfway or to the belly. Cobra or upward facing dog. Pausing here. Keep pressing into the hands wherever you're at. Soften through the shoulder. Shift over the left shoulder. Shift the gaze. Come back through center. Look over the right shoulder. Inhale through center. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Lift the heels. Bend the knees. Draw the chest back to the tops of the thighs. Working on lengthening your spine once again. Start to travel the hands back to the toes. Then sink the hips. Utkatasana with heels lifted. So biceps land next to the ears. One more round of breath here. Take an inhale. Exhale, lengthen the legs, land the heels, fold forward. Halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Sweep the arms up and out. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Anjali Mudra. Close the eyes, pause, reflect. Preparing the body for more movement, more intense, more strength, more breath work. One more inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, take a fold. Halfway lift. Walk yourself out. Come into a downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. Next, inhale, wave the body forward, high plank. Lift the right toes, so you're in a three-legged plank. Take an inhale here. Next, exhale, draw the right knee to the right tricep. Then draw the knee over to the left tricep. Then shift the weight to the pinky side edge of the left foot. Come into Vashisthasana side plank. Right leg should be on top. Option to take a tree variation. Maybe stack the feet, maybe lower the left knee. Holding here. Keep your breath. Take an inhale. Exhale, land back in high plank. Hug the right knee to the left tricep. Then back to the right tricep. High plank, holding here. Lift the right or the left toes, point the toes, take an inhale. Exhale, draw the knee to the left tricep. Then over to the right. Then shift the weight to the pinky side edge of the right foot. Vashisthasana right side. Option to take a little tree variation, bending the left knee, maybe stack the foot or the feet. Maybe float the left leg. Whatever variation, 3 more rounds of breath here. Keep pressing the ground away. Deep inhalation. Next, exhale. Left hand plants, hug the left knee to the right elbow. Then over to the left, back to high plank, land the foot. Exhale, downward facing dog, pedal up the feet. This time, lift the right toes. We're gonna do what we did at the beginning of class. So start to draw the toes over to the right side. So you're thinking about drawing them to the front of the room, leg is long. And then lift back up. Cross the right leg over the left, kind of opening up the hip. Maybe your gaze shifts underneath the left armpit. You can peek at your toes. Twice more here. Lengthen the right toes to the front of the room, off to the right side. Then draw the leg back. Cross it behind the left. Inhale, move it forward. Exhale, draw it back. This time, move it through center. Square the hips. Flex the right toes. Draw the knee to the nose. Then step the foot between the hands. Land the back knee and tuck the toes. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, sweep the arms overhead. Take a moment here. If it's too much on the shoulders, you can land the hands on top of the thigh. Maybe hands come to heart. Find your breath. Opening up the front of the left hip. Wherever you're at, sweep the arms overhead. And take an open twist to the right side. Left fingertips move forward, right fingertips back. Hold here. And plant the left hand. Reach the right fingertips to the sky. Take a little wedge twist. Either stay here or bend the left knee. Maybe grab hold of the top of the foot. Coming into another little quad stretch here. Releasing the foot. Plant the hands to surround, to frame the front foot. Shift the hips back. Half splits. Draw the right hip forward to keep the hips squared. Couple more rounds of breath here. Flex the toes back to the face, activating your hamstring. Lower back through the right foot. Plant the hands, tuck the back toes, lift the knee. Step your way back, high plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower halfway to the belly. Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full round of breath in. Full round of breath out. Inhale, lift the left toes. Point the toes. Same thing, this side. Keep the leg long, but draw the toes so you're opening the hip. Draw the toes to the front of the room. Then exhale, cross the leg a little bit behind the right when you lengthen back. Maybe the gaze shifts underneath the right armpit. Peeping at the toes. Next inhale, draw the leg forward. Think about touching the toes to your left fingers. Then exhale, draw it back. Gaze underneath. One more time, lengthen it forward. Exhale, lengthen it back. Inhale, left leg through center, flex the toes, squaring off your hips. Draw your knee to the nose, and step the foot between the hands. Lower the right heel and tuck the toes. Inhale, lifts you up into your low lunge, either biceps next to the ears, maybe hands rest on top of your thigh. Tracing the breath all the way down the right thigh, right hip flexor. Next, inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, open twist to the left. Just for 2 rounds of breath here, warming up the spine. Take an inhale. Exhale, plant the right hand, lift the left fingertips to the sky. Take a little lunge twist. Either stay here or again, maybe come into that quad stretch, bend the right knee. Keep hugging the left knee into the midline, so avoid swaying the leg up to the left. Release the foot. Shift the hips back, half splits. Left toes flex to your face. Draw the left hip forward. Take an inhale to lengthen. Exhale, try folding deeper over the front shin. Walk the hands forward to frame the front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee. Step your way back, high plank. Option for a chaturanga or head straight to your downward facing dog. Next inhalation, right toes rise. Same thing here, draw the toes to the front of the room and then cross the leg behind the left one, gaze over underneath the armpit. One more time, lengthen the toes out to the right, then over to the left, then draw the knee to the nose, hold here, step the foot between the hands. This time, keep the left knee elevated. Sweep the arms overhead. Come into a high lunge. Sink into the front knee. Take an inhale here. Exhale, open twist to the right side. We've been here before, just in a different variation. Keep hugging the inner thighs together. Find that stability. You might want to take a look up here, but we're going to make a little funky transition into a revolved hand to foot pose. So you're going to shift the weight to the right foot. Maybe cartwheel the hands through center. Hug the left knee to your chest. Right hand can come to the outer edge or outside of the left knee. Left fingertips draw back. Awesome option to stay here. If you'd like to work this a little bit further, right hand can grab the outside of the left foot, or maybe grab hold of the big toe if you'd like to take that variation too. Wherever you're at, keep the right leg long. So most important, keeping that long. If your upper body is starting to tilt back, that means you should back off a little bit on the left leg. So maybe taking a little bend in it. Maybe gaze shifts to the left hand over the left shoulder. One more round of breath here. Exhale. Inhale, gently release. Cartwheel the hands back. Step the left foot back. Heel to heel alignment. So you're in your warrior one stance. Left hand plants on the inside of the right foot. Awesome option to add in a little elevation if you have a prop at home underneath the left hand. Then right fingertips can start to reach towards the top of the room. Revolve Trikonasana. Triangle. Keep squeezing the thighs together. I know it's intense, but we're making up for lost time from the beginning of class. So trying to reap the benefits of this yoga class, building strength, building breath work, keeping the breath here. Shift the weight back to the right foot, plant the hands, lift the left heel, come into a standing splits. So right hip might be burning. You're only here for one more inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold over the front leg. Start to hug the left knee and tap or touch the left foot next to the right. Sink the hips, Utkatasana chair pose. Top of the mat. Start to shift the weight to the toes. Lift the heels. We've been here before. One more round of breath in. Exhale, fold over the legs. Halfway lift. This time, exhale, plant the palms. Step or hop your way through a chaturanga. Or head straight to your down dog. When you're ready, lengthen the left toes to the sky. Twice here, draw the toes to the front of the room. Then draw it back, look underneath the right armpit. Inhale, paint the left wall with the toes. Exhale, cross it behind the left or the right. Then next, exhale, draw the knee to the nose. Step the foot through. Back knee stays elevated. Inhale, biceps next to the ears. High lunge. Sink into the front knee. Hips lower a little deeper. Next, inhale, energize through the crown of the head. Exhale, open twist to the left side. Right fingers forward. Try keeping the arms at one level. So making sure that one arm's not lifted, a little higher, one's lower. Coming back into that funky transition. We'll kind of windmill the arms. But first, shift the weight to the left foot. Hug the right knee into the chest, come up to standing. Either left hand comes to the outside of the right knee. Right hand can drop back. You want to work that little variation, hand to big toe, hand to foot, pose, but just taking a revolve variation. So right now I'm tilting a little back. My right hamstring's a little tight. So I'm going to bring a little bend, so keeping my shoulders stacked over my hips, keeping the standing leg long. Gaze can shift over the right hand, back of the room. Take an inhale. Exhale. Making your way through center. Release the foot, the leg. Start to step the right heel back. Heel to heel alignment, both legs long. Right hand plants on the inside of the left foot. Left hand to the hip or left hand to the sky. Stay rooted through the right heel. Feel the energy all the way out from the right heel, out through the crown of the head, through the left fingers. One more inhale here. Exhale, plant the hands a little bit in front of the left foot. Peel the right toes off the mat, standing split. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale to fold. Step the right foot next to the left. See your hips. Utkatasana chair pose. Holding here. Shift the weight to the toes. Heels lift once again. Try lifting them a little bit higher than you have so far in this class. Try sinking the hips so as if they were trying to meet. Hold for one more inhale. I know it's tough. Exhale, take a fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, journey through your chaturanga or head straight to your downward facing dog. When you're ready, right toes rise. One time here, draw the leg forward, keep the leg long. Then cross it behind the left. Next, exhale, draw the knee to the nose. Step the foot through. Inhale, lifts you up into your crescent. Exhale, hold. Inhale, energize. Exhale, open twist to the right. Either stay here, maybe work a revolved crescent. Planting the right hand on the back of the left thigh. Reaching the left fingertips for the back right corner of your room. Coming into revolved hand to foot pose. Shift the weight to the front foot. Use your core, use your leg strength. Draw the left knee to the chest. Left hand back. Taking your variation might be a little different than last time. Maybe you're a little bit warmer. Come back through center. This time release the foot if you had it, or if it was bent, start to lengthen the leg, point the toes. So really working that quad strength. Take the hands to the hips. Same thing that we've done in our down dog and our tabletop. We're gonna start to paint the back or the left wall with our left toes. So draw the left leg over to the left side using your hip strength. Shift the weight forward, bend the left knee. Left hand will start to reach for the back foot. So grabbing on the inside. You could stay here in a little quad stretch. You'd like to work dancer variation. Kick the foot into the hand, reach the right fingers forward. Stay steady through the bottom foot. Bending from the upper back. Lower the left hip just an inch or two. Lift up through the right hip so that squares your pelvis. Releasing the foot, keep it lifted, biceps next to the ears, step the foot back, high lunge. Exhale, plant the hands to frame the front foot. This time, lengthen through the right leg, hips shift back, so taking a modified pyramid pose. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, fold over the right leg. Shift the weight to the front foot. Walk the hands a little bit in front of the right toes, standing splits. You can stay here if you would like to work some handstand hops, if that's a part of your practice. I was shifting the weight in the hands to the toes. Maybe you're just working, lifting the right heel. It is a great place to work on strength. When you're ready, land the left foot next to the right, sink the hips, Utkatasana chair pose. Second to last time we're here. Lift the heels, shift the weight to the toes. This time start to plant the hands about shoulders width. Land the knees to the triceps, triceps to knees. Option for a Bakasana curl pose. And then when you're ready, shooting the legs back, meeting in a downward facing dog. Option for a chaturanga. We just got one more side here, so hang with me. We're really working on strength today and controlled movement. Left heel rises, point the toes, draw the leg forward. Draw the leg back. Next, exhale, hug the knee to the nose, step the foot through. Inhale, crescent warrior. Exhale, hold. Inhale to energize through the fingers. Exhale, take your open twist. Either stay here, maybe work that revolved crescent. And the backhand. Working that funky transition, shift the weight to the left foot. Start to windmill the arms. Hug the right knee to the chest. hand to knee, maybe hand to foot. Reach the right arm back. Gaze can shift to the back of the room. Keep the leg lifted. Release the foot. Take your hands to your hips, holding here, using quad strength. And then start to paint the right wall with the right toe, circling the leg back. Working on balance. Bend the right knee. Right hand reaches for inside edge of the right foot. Stay here, nice stretch, a quad stretch. Start to kick the foot into the hand. Working a dancer variation. Left fingertips can start to make their way forward. Staying broad through the chest. Stay lifted through the left hip, lower through the right. So that squares your hips. Slowly release. Keep the right leg long and lifted. And step the toes back. Take a high lunge. Inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, shift the hips back. Modified pyramid. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhaling to fold. Start to travel the fingers, walk the hands a little bit in front of the left toes, peel the right toes off the mat, standing splits. Again, either stay here if you'd like to work some handstand hops. Feel free, or maybe work on just shifting the weight to the left toes, peeling the left heel off the mat. 2 more rounds of breath wherever you're at. Inhale. Exhale, step the right foot next to the left. Last time here, Utkatasana chair pose. I know it's tough. Sink the hips. Lift the heels, weight comes to the toes. Sit a little deeper, sit a little deeper. All the way down, Navasana boat pose. Hold here with the shins parallel to the ground. Hands can always come next to the hips. Working on a little bit of low ab strength. Arms can reach to the top of the room, biceps next to the ears, and then tap one toe and the other. If you want a little bit more, you can try to lengthen the legs, so no bend. Keep going back and forth for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding in your boat pose, maybe lengthen the legs. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the feet down. Hands come to your shins. Draw your heart forward. Releasing the belly, the back. Then exhale, tuck the chin, round the spine. Couple more inhales. Root the heart forward. A little bit of a cat and cow-like movement. Exhale, tuck the chin, round the spine. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Come back up through center. Plant the hands behind the hips. Plant the feet. Drive into the heels, into the hands. Next inhale lifts the heel or lifts the hips. Keep lifting the pelvis up higher so that activates the glutes. Press the heels into the ground to activate the hamstrings. Keep the head in line with the chest. So spine is long, spine is neutral. One more inhale here. Exhale, slowly release down. Lengthen the legs out in front. Paschimottanasana, B variation. So moving any flesh from underneath the bum. Inhale to sweep the arms overhead. Reaching from your pelvis, take an anterior tilt, so you're tilting your pelvis forward. Reach the fingertips. Try wrapping the hands behind the feet. If you can't make it there, that's perfectly okay. You can have your hands resting on the calves, maybe ankles. Slowly releasing out of this. Keep the left leg long, right knee hugs in. And then we're going to cross the right leg over the left thigh. So right knee, try stacking it over the left knee. Coming into a sort of half Gomukhasana cow face pose. So full cow face is when the left leg is bent and the heel draws to the right hip. We're just going to take this variation. Sweep the arms overhead. Flex the left toes to the face. And then try folding over the legs. Super intense stretch in the left hamstring, right outer hip. Taking this where your body needs it. So try not to force anything. And then coming out of this, switching out the legs, right leg long, toes are flexed. Hug the left knee in and cross to stack the knees on top of one another. Hug the inner thighs together, kind of like eagle legs. Reach the fingertips up, reaching from the pelvis, from the sits bones out through the fingers. Take your little fold here. Let the breath flow to the legs, to those tense moments. Exhaling is releasing that tensity. And then roll your way back up. Lengthen the legs out in front of you. Point the toes. Reach the fingertips back out in front. Tuck the chin round the spine. Slowly lower all the way. Well, actually not all the way. We're going to hover the shoulders. So when you reach in that hovering position, we're going to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Full body stretch. Well deserved here. And then when you're ready, hug the knees to the armpits. Happy baby pose. Taking any last movements here, maybe a supine twist, Halasana, plow pose, if that's a part of your practice. And when you're ready, making your way to your final resting pose. And whenever you get to that last little bit, well-earned resting, letting the breath go. Letting the thoughts carry on, but not participating. Pulling up a chair at the back of your head, watching the thoughts spin around. You're just the observer. Setting an internal drishti, an internal focal point. Maybe it's the space between your eyes, your third eye, space between the brow. Maybe it's this little dot that you're visualizing. Maybe a square, a diamond, a light. Focusing your energy and your attention to that spot and let the breath unfold. I invite you to stay here for about 5 to 10 more minutes, just reaping the benefits of this corpse pose, Shavasana. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.